students, today we are going to look at chapter number 10, Introduction to Internet and Web, which is also chapter number 8, Web Application Development, in a few books. Now the most common topics that will be asked in the examination, we are going to discuss about them only. Like we have been told about the introduction to internet, and www will be asked. So internet, as we know, it is a computer based worldwide information network. We can also say it is a WAN or a wide area network. And as we know that thousands and thousands of computers can be connected to each other in order to enable the sharing of information between them. Now, in our chapter, it comes as the history of internet. So if we look over here, the history of internet as given, it is said that the seeds of internet were planted in 1969 when US Department of Defense sponsored a project named ARPANET. ARPANET has a full form of Advanced Research Projects Agency Network. And in the mid 80s, another federal agency of National Science Foundation, that is NSF, they had created a high capacity network. So this means that the history of internet starts from the US Defense Academy, and after that National Science Foundation also gave a high speed internet which was more capable than ARPANET. So the original ARPANET was later on shut down in 1990, and the government handling the NSF net discontinued in 1995. But the commercial internet services, they came into the focus of the people, into the picture, which is still named as internet. Now the advantages of internet that we get to see are greater access to information. That means if you want to find some information, you can just write on the search engines whatever you want to search. Immediately you get greater amount of information regarding it. Useful communication links are also there. Hyperlinks are there. If you want to click on the hyperlinks and go to a wide range of information, you can do. Global reach enables one to connect to anyone on the internet. You can even connect to anyone using the Yahoo Messenger or any other type of messenger where you can chat with people, and easy communication is possible through it. You can even publish your documents on internet because it saves paper. If you want to send some document to anybody, you can just attach it as an attachment to an email and send it, which saves a lot of paper. And a valuable resource for companies to advertise. Through internet only, the companies, they can advertise a lot on the internet. But the disadvantages that we are seeing are cyber frauds may take place. Because if you are entering on some e-commerce site your credit and debit card number, it can be prone to hacking or frauds. It is unsuitable and undesirable material is sometimes available on internet which is not required to be seen, and many people like terrorists, they can also put such type of information. Then computer viruses, they also get downloaded when you are downloading any file from it. Then at the same time, the messages that are sent across internet can be easily intercepted. Anybody can hack them. And too much time is spent on internet which could result in a face-to-face interaction. Now what happens is nowadays the people, they interact with each other on Facebook, WhatsApp, so they feel lazy to meet each other face-to-face. So this reduces the lack of face-to-face interaction. Then going online runs the risk of hackers, because viruses and hackers, they are prone to take your information if you spend long hours on internet. Let's see a term like WWW, which has a full form of World Wide Web. And here it is written, it is a wide network of internet that supports different web protocols. Protocols like HTTP, FTP, and all such type. Gopher protocol is also there. So the wide this WWW can support any type of protocol which are used in internet. World Wide Web is a common example of information protocol or service that can be used to send and receive information over internet. Like client is whom? Like we are accessing our web browser. Through web browser we are trying to find out something. The web browser becomes a client software, and when this information reaches to the server fetches the required information that you want and then sends you back. So the softwares that we are using like Internet Explorer, Mozilla, any type of software, Opera, etc., in order to access some information, they are said to be client softwares. Then here it is written that it can provide multimedia information, which includes different type of movies, music, pictures, graphics, sounds, etc. Hypertext information, in which various hyperlinks are given where you can click and move to the desired information page. Then it has a graphical user interface also, because we can point or click on a graphical icon and move to the required location in order to read the entire information. So we have got two types of softwares as it is written here, client software and server software. Client software is a type of software which is used by a client to request some information from web server, like the browsers that we use. Then server software, it is a type of software which is used by server to answer the request that has been made by the client software. So the request is received by it and then it provides the desired information to us, like for example Microsoft, Oracle, etc. Then comes the next term, web browser. Web browser is a software application in which the user can interact to people with the help of internet. You can interact by reading the text, images, links, videos, music, and other information on a website. So presently we can say that in indirect way that the web browser is actually a software which helps to retrieve, present, and traverse information resources on World Wide Web. Now what are hyperlinks? Hyperlinks present in resources enable user to easily navigate the browsers to related resources. Hyperlinks, we already know, when you keep your mouse pointer on that particular icon or a text, it changes into a hand like icon so that you can click on it and move to the desired resource that you want to move to. So the major web browsers are Mozilla Firefox, Google Chrome, Internet Explorer, Opera, and so on. Then comes web server. What is a web server and what is a web client? So web server is a program that runs on a computer connected to internet. It is simply a computer with internet connection that runs software designed to send out HTML, DHTML, XML or Java based pages and other file formats like multimedia files. That means a web server is simply a computer which contains a software, and it is so designed that it can send whatever information you want either in the form of HTML, DHTML, XML or Java based pages. Web server can refer to either hardware or software or combination of both. So primary function of a web server is to deliver web pages on the request of clients. So the main work of the server is, as the name suggests, server means giving a service. So if you as a client are asking some information, the web server will fetch that information and send it to you using HTTP protocol, which is Hypertext Transfer Protocol. So this means delivery of HTML documents and any additional content can contain images, style sheets, scripts, etc. So a web server has 4 functions. It serves the web pages, running gateway programs and returning output, controlling access to server, and monitoring and logging server access statistics. So it is used to run the gateway programs. Gateway we have seen in our previous video also, which is used to connect various different type of networks. Then comes web address or URL. URL has a full form, Uniform Resource Locator. It is actually the website address that you write on the top of the address bar. So it is a global address of documents and other resources on World Wide Web. Sometimes instead of calling it as URL, we say it is a web address. Right? So the first part of URL is called a protocol. Like we write HTTPS or HTTP or FTP. These are all protocols. And it indicates which protocol is to be used. And the second part is the resource name or the computer name, and it specifies the IP address of the domain name, because in that www.yahoo.com, so Yahoo is the domain name where the resource is located, and the protocol identifier and resource name are separated by a colon, which we have already seen. Like we write http://www.yahoo.com. so http:// this separator is a colon and 2 forward slashes. Third part is the directory name, and the fourth part is the file name with its extension. So the domain name has got everything. That means Yahoo is the directory name, .com is the extension, that it is which type of site. Commercial site for com, then IN for India, .in if we write, then .jp for Japan, .org for an organization, .edu for education, and so on. These are all the names that are given to it. These are the domain IDs. Then .gov for government organization, .net for network resources, and so on. So web address has got these 4 parts. First is the protocol, that is HTTP or FTP or anything. Then second is the resource name, and it contains a domain name also. Then it contains the fourth part is the file name with its extension. So here they have given the syntax also, protocol : / web server name, that is www, directory name and the file name. Here they have given the example also, website address like www.webopedia.com/us/stuff.exe. Generally we don't write this. We write only FTP : / www.webopedia.com. .com is a domain ID which tells it is a commercial site. This is the web source address, and here is the directory and the file name. If you do not know the file name or anything, you can just give the .com name and press enter, and as you click on the hyperlinks, automatically these slashes keep on changing and show you the pages. This was a website. So here in that case, they have said that the URL has the protocol, that is FTP. The host name is www. The domain name is Webopedia. The domain type is .com, and the file path en or us. The file extension is stuff.exe. Right. This was the URL. So various protocols can be used with it, like FTP for file transfer protocol, Gopher, which is a transfer control protocol or internet protocol. Then HTTP, we already know it is a popular protocol used. HTTP is hypertext transfer protocol. Mail protocol is sometimes used as post office protocol and SMTP protocol. And for news it is NNTP, Network News Transfer Protocol. Right. Then URL can be of three types. Absolute URL. It is a type of URL which uses a complete web path, as we have seen here itself, that webopedia.com having the complete path. That was the absolute path name. And here they have given also. Then relative URL means if you are not giving the complete path and you say that from here onwards I have to move above. So it is a type of URL that defines the path of URL on a domain without including the domain name. Like here they have given /images/house.png. So we are not giving the complete path of that. Then comes a fragment URL. In this type of URL, hash character is used in absolute. Now hash means what? It is a bookmark. What is a bookmark? In the same page which you are opening, like you are opening this page, store.html, you want to go to the hyperlink download. So that means you are giving a small fragment of that page where you have to reach. Right, so three types of URLs are there: absolute URL, relative URL and fragment URL. Now before I move ahead, there is a difference given in the book. Difference between server and web server. So a server is a computer or a device on network that manages network resources. A server serves requests mainly related to resources on network for sharing resource like printer or sharing storage, etc. So a server can act only as a sharing resource or sharing storage, like file server or mail server or web server, etc. But web servers are the computers that deliver web pages. That means the difference that we are trying to know in server and web server is that a simple server is a computer or a device that can help to provide sharing of resources. But a web server, it delivers web pages. In technical terms, we can say that they handle HTTP requests. Because if you are giving some request from your client software, that is a web browser, the web server is going to search the page and give it to you. And what are the services that can be provided by a server? First is equipment or resource sharing. That is, high quality printers and photocopiers are used to connect directly to a network. That means you can have only one photocopier or one printer, and through the network you can give the command to be printed on that photocopy or printer. Second is centralized file saving for data sharing. Sometimes the servers can help the user to save their files on this central server, so that any standalone machines which are present on that server, they can use it. Next is centralized virus scanning. Now most of the file servers, they run virus scanners constantly in order to detect any type of virus infection on the workstations. And fourth is centralized backup. So high capacity tape devices in the file server, they back up all users' work, usually every night. That is, in case of system failure, it can be recovered very quickly. So these were the differences between web server and the server. And till now we have done the URLs also. Now comes the website. What is a website? How can you define it? It is a collection of web pages which are digital files, and generally they are written using hypertext markup language, that is HTML. So for a website to be available to everyone at all times, it must be hosted. That means it must be hosted on the World Wide Web platform so that anybody can see it. So such a computer is said to be a web server which can host it. Now the web pages of the website, they are linked together with HTML hyperlinks. If you click on any hyperlink, you can reach to another page. If you click on the third hyperlink or the second hyperlink, you can reach to another page. The links can either be a text or image or video. If you click on it, you can reach to the related information. Components of a website may we have got web host, address, home page, design and content. Web host, hosting is where a website is physically located. Like if we purchase a web hosting from GoDaddy or Big Rock or Hostinger, so they are said to be our web host who are trying to save your website on their system. So group of link pages, they qualify to be called a website. If all the pages are linked to each other, then it is said to be a website when it is hosted on a web server. Then comes the address. If you purchase a website address from those hosters or from any other website that gives you at a certain cost, you can take that name and make it your website address. Home page is the initial page of that website which opens as soon as you open your website. So the first page should be a very good appearance so that people can land into it and see the desired information. And design, it is the overall look and feel that the website has a result of proper use and integration elements, like it can have navigation menus, graphics, layout, everything should be very good. And then the content is the matter that is written on each of the web pages. Then comes web page. It is a single page of that website which is a digital document that is linked to World Wide Web, and it is viewable by anyone who is connected to internet having a web browser. So it can contain text, animation, videos, etc. Right. In the next turn, we'll be studying about content of a web page. Till then, keep on practicing with these terms. Thank you.